one of the reasons why I'm fighting so hard. I think, I want to be able to help people with Tourette's again one day. But the reality is, unless we expose the injustice that happens, right now in the world, NXIVM is seen as this quote unquote criminal organization that has done all these horrible things and actually hurts people. When you just saw in this trailer and, seeing me, we were doing the complete opposite. And oftentimes people will say, well, even to Sunil or Nikki or Eduardo or to me, why don't you guys just go start your own thing? Why don't you go restart NXIVM? And it's like, well, it's just not that easy. I mean, right now, as Eduardo had said, even for me just speaking publicly, Moira Kim Penza, who was the federal prosecutor at the time, she had called my attorney and said if I go through with this presentation that she would throw me in jail. So it's vital that we expose this injustice and that we right this wrong so that, eventually we can actually bring back the education and help people in this way. I don't want to be, operating in the shadows, afraid of the government for the rest of my life. We need to expose this, and then hopefully, yes, we can help a lot of people. And just the last thing I'll say on the Tourette's thing, I think, there's a reason why, with, the FBI, has planted this type of, helped participated in the planting of the child pornography. It seems that the prosecution might be implicit in that. It's unclear. But I don't think it's random that here you have them tampering with evidence, and also that they would then try to suppress the Tourette stuff from the trial. So Neil or Eduardo could probably talk to this more because you guys were there. But if the prosecution were really trying to find the truth, and they weren't just trying to control and put out a very specific narrative, why would the prosecution not want the world or the jury to know about the Tourette stuff? And the same thing goes for a lot of the documentaries out there. Seduced is one of the documentaries that came out. And I filed a defamation lawsuit against Lionsgate and Starz for how they portrayed me. India was a good friend of mine, but in this documentary, they made sure to really destroy my character by making it seem like I support sexual assault against women. And even after my face is on the screen with a testimonial, I think it's like 7 seconds later, they have footage of an ISIS terrorist training camp making claims that somehow the techniques used in NXIVM were the same types of processes used in a terrorist training camp. And I kid you not, there's footage of a terrorist training camp with children. There's a reason why the prosecution, why the FBI, why these documentaries are trying to suppress something like the Tourette's. And just the reason is because it's completely antithetical to the narrative. It's totally opposite that NXIVM is hurting people. And they wanted to make sure that no one would know about that. So I think that's how it relates, particularly just to this conversation of, if we actually were doing, if we were bad, why would they try to suppress and silence things like this? So I know I just said a lot there, but I think it's important to like I said, because you could go down a rabbit hole with the Tourette's, and I would love to come back, but I want to make sure that we keep it relating to the injustice that's going on.
No, we're definitely going to take you up on your offer to come back and talk about.
Yeah, and I think it's good, Troy, that you're writing down these things because the contact of the association, the other contact that you talked about earlier, and then these articles that Jewel wants to write, we can follow up on each one of these things. I think it's great that these are coming up, and then we can have a special show about Mark, and he can help write those articles, and we can follow up with your contacts. And just if you write it down, that's great.
Yep. So do we want to go to Sunil or to Nikki next to talk about your interactions with the organization?
I mean, I mainly describe mine.